It is the Yeah Come On Show with Southside Steve.
Yeah, come on. Happy Tuesday to you, Jeffrey.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to start off the show on a plus. We're live here in the Exit Wealth Studios, also the Exit Stage Left Advisors Studio. Both companies are down this hall. People are in the building and they're busy, but this is our studio, our quiet place. You know, we're not disturbed here. We run our show. We come out. People are like, "Did you have a guest?" Is that you mean?
Oh, people are saying, are you recording? Are we too
recording?
loud? Are we too loud? No, we got stuff on the walls for that.
Yeah, we got padding.
Padding. This stuff's expensive. The
I know.
acoustic padding, it's just basically foam covered in whatever. For some reason, it's expensive.
It is. I had an engineer update me. Brian Waters is like, "Don't mess with that." He goes, "That's above your pay grade." I went, "What?" You know, because they had it all out in the hall. And he goes, "Leave that alone. They don't want you touching the padding.
No.
It's a special padding." I don't know. So if you need a pad, call Jeff and I. We'll sell you a pad. I got some extras. We didn't use it all.
Oh, we didn't use it all. Well, you can keep it for your home studio.
That's it for the home studio. Might need some padding there. Love our sponsors. Again, if you need to invest or you're looking to sell a business, just get in our DMs. You can come in stupid, even if you're a college graduate and you've made an incredible life for yourself and you want to dabble with Ted and see what he can do for you. Just send me a dumb message going, "Tell me more. Who's the group? Who do I need to talk to?" And they'll take a meeting with you. It's that easy. What is not easy sometimes is what didn't work. And the thing is, you look at the future. I was watching third hour this morning of the Today Show. There's a woman on there that invented the phone satchel. You know, the little clip that goes here and the clip that goes there. And then they have...
And then that's an invention, isn't that just a lanyard?
Oh, no, because it goes into a leather pocket that on the outside has a small purse, or it's a bigger purse, or if you're traveling, it's a kit where the passport goes in and other things, and it's just this whole ensemble. Then if it's leather and you like the leather, but you want it to be flashy, there's a gold chain attachment that goes to it that just adds to your outfit.
Accessories.
Lots of accessories. And this woman is a multimillionaire now, and she invented it, and it showed her on the show. And I'm like, good move. But when you're sitting around, did everybody go, "I got something that nobody's thought about"? Because the way you get wealthy, and you can learn this, and we'll flash this up, the Red, White, and Green Show. I do that with Ted Jenkin. We do a show a week. It's all over. You can go to redwhiteandgreen.com and follow the shows. But we do money hacks, and we talk about how you can make money outside of your career. And, it's just that fun thing you do, does it become the thing you do?
Side hustle is the term that comes to mind.
Right.
Of recent.
Yeah, and you've had a side hustle.
I've always had side hustles. Radio has always been a side hustle.
And for me, it was the main thing, and then the endorsements and the other stuff was my side hustle. And occasionally, now I do a lot of emceeing and public events. We've been brought back into the Alpharetta Fire. They want us to come back out and do them again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Foxy Roxy.
Yeah, and Foxy Roxy, that group in Roswell, too.
Okay, they were Roswell.
Roswell. I think Roswell wants us.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's right there, neighboring cities. We should be doing both, yes.
Yeah, we should. We love our first responders. But sometimes people sit around a table and they have a bad idea that you thought was going to be good. And you look back at the 90s and the 80s, early aughts, whatever, and you're like, yeah, that was stupid. That was stupid. That was stupid. And then the pet rock worked for a minute, and that was way stupid.
That's the stupidest invention of all time that caught on.
Who knew? Who knew? So, looking at that, the Fiero popped up. And you and I, my brother owned one.
Really?
Yeah, my youngest brother, Matt, bought a used Fiero and took that to West Georgia. So he was cruising around West Georgia in a black Fiero.
That's an 80s panty dropper, if you ask me.
You just used the word panty dropper.
Yeah.
You think?
Oh, yeah, of course. Any little foxy little sports car, small sports car.
Yeah.
That's a panty dropper in my book.
I remember I was looking at my manager at Western Sizzling Steakhouse when I was driving the 72 Cutlass with the big tires, and I was having fun, and that was the perfect vehicle for me at the time. Small steering wheel, big engine. I could race it. It was just fun. And he's like, "You might want to settle down. What do you think of that?" And he was looking to sell his TR7. Britain TR7. I don't know if you remember. It's a miniature version of the Fiero. It's slanted. And what the Fiero had And what a lot of vehicles have done is either it's the engine. People don't realize the engine was in the middle of the car on the Fiero.
On the Fiero? So the front was the trunk.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah. And so the reason, I don't know exactly what was in the front. I can't be honest. But I know the engine was pretty much in the middle, which is why I had that large separation and large console.
Yeah, and it's a two-door.
The large console was the cool
Okay,
thing.
yeah.
TR7 had it. Fiero had it.
Okay, yeah, I'm picturing the TR7 because they look very similar.
Yeah, they do. They look very similar, except the Fiero was wider, a little lower, and just cool. I mean, it was a wide-looking car, and you honestly felt protected in it.
Yeah. Now, I don't know. I know we're going to play this clip of sort of the history of it, but I remember they look great. But I remember it being fiberglass was the big deal, and that was the problem.
Yes,
that
was the
right?
problem. That was one thing because the fiberglass, and they had this issue with the Corvette as well. Anything that had a lot of fiberglass, it was hard. The paint could fade on the fiberglass. And then the paint on the vehicle wouldn't, so you'd get a shade off.
Okay,
and it's like,
that's
all right.
why, they had to be a brand new Fiero.
Had to be.
Once it aged a little bit, it aged quickly, right?
And then Fiero was smart. They're like, damn it, man, the front end's fading on all of our cars. So what do? They may have been the first to introduce the bug cover. That cover that you put over the front of your car.
The car bra.
The car bra. And they did that. And Fiero might have been the first to cover up their mistake.
All right, so you want to go to this video?
Yeah,
something that you found here.
Yeah, this is an invention that we're on the fence on whether this was a good idea or a bad idea.
I can describe this car pretty well by telling you it's the most successful failure General Motors ever built. In its very first year, 1984, this little two-seater sold 136,840 copies. You know how many Corvettes sold that same year in the second best Corvette sales year of all time? 51,500.
Wait, how's that a failure?
This car outsold America's sports car better than 2 to 1, with a base price of $7,999, less than half the Corvette sticker. Did I just blow your mind? If you were anywhere near a high school parking lot in the mid-'80s, you remember it. The wedge shape, the flip-up headlights, the poster on somebody's bedroom wall.
There's Hall & Oates.
It paced the Indianapolis 500 in its first year on sale, and 5 years later, it was dead. So here's the question we're answering today. How does a certified hit get killed
I love those rims, those Pontiac rims back in the day.
Yes,
It'll bother you.
They look good
The
when they're
killer
rolling.
wasn't Japan. It wasn't gas prices. It was inside the building the whole time. Hold that number, 136,840. It's coming back. But to understand why this car died, you have to understand that it was never supposed to live in the first place. The car is the Pontiac Fiero, and it exists because one stubborn engineer refused to take no for an answer. His name was Holki Aldikakti, a Turkish-born GM veteran with over 20 years inside the company, working alongside designer George Miladrag. In the late 70s, Aldikakti wanted to build something GM had never built, a mass-produced, mid-engine American sports car, engine behind the driver, like a Ferrari. GM's answer was no. And here's a detail most people never hear. According to Gary Witzenberg's published history of the program, and Witzenberg interviewed the whole team, the project was canceled 3 separate times in executive meetings. What saved it was a disguise. Pontiac general manager Bill Hoagland kept it alive by selling it to leadership as a fuel-efficient, 2-seat commuter car, a little economy runabout to help GM hit federal fuel economy standards. A sports car, smuggled through accounting. But disguises have a price. The development budget was $400 million, a fraction of what GM typically spent on an all-new car. So Aldikakti raided the parts bin. The front suspension came from the Chevy Chevette, the cheapest car GM offered.
Oh, no.
The rear was the front subframe of a Chevy Citation, turned around backwards. The engine? The 92 horsepower Iron Duke 4-cylinder. And the proper suspension that had already been designed for this car? GM would not pay for it. Remember that. It matters later. And because Aldikakti had been forced to build it cheap, what happened next surprised everyone. including GM. The Fiero launched in the fall of 1983, and America lost its mind. This was the first mass-produced mid-engine car ever built by an American manufacturer. Period. The body was something nobody had seen before. Plastic composite panels hung on a steel space frame, which meant it shrugged off door dings and never rusted. I can describe this car
There
pretty
you
well.
go.
Yeah.
So you find out that it shrugged off door dings. I remember that being a thing. And then also, I did not know what I just learned, that it was built from 3 different cars. So basically,
Yeah.
it was a hot damn mess.
It was a Frankenstein, production.
That's it. That's the best words I've heard on a Fiero. It is a Frankenstein production.
But because
and they couldn't keep it up.
It was such a hit. I feel like they could reboot it. Like Toyota just rebooted the Supra. That's what I have. My panty dropper. They could reboot the Fiero, and I think it would be a huge hit. Just make a nicer version of it.
If you did it right,
Yeah.
and made its own chassis and didn't Frankenstein it,
Yeah.
and in the mid-engine, which is why the console was there. So obviously the front was a trunk. We answered our own question. But my brother owning it, I don't think I ever rode in it.
No?
I would see it in the driveway, and I'd come in my car, and I was at the point I was working, so I was driving newer automobiles. I was into Jeeps then, so I was driving either a Jeep Grand Cherokee or a Jeep, and he was in that. And in the early 90s, that was his car, and he got it used, and it looked old. For a
Yeah.
car that was only 5-6 years old, I mean, it looked like a 15-year-old vehicle.
Well, the problem with this not happening is because people don't buy sports cars as much these days. At least, like mine. You don't see a lot of them on the road. Everybody's buying SUVs, and the small, they're not buying sports cars anymore. You used to drive by dealerships and they'd have, sports cars, out in display.
And the trucks were in the back.
Right. Now it's the opposite. They barely, if they even have any sports
Well,
cars. I had to travel to Brunswick, Georgia to get mine.
Matter of fact, you got to get your tires balanced. So I'm going to go ahead and mention our proud sponsor, Regal Nissan. I got to send you to Skipper, our sportsman. You got to go see him because your tires have to be balanced every 15,000 miles.
Because they're differentials, because it's a panty dropping sports car. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. I love the sports car. So there it is. Now you know the rest of the story on the Fiero, a Frankenstein-built automobile with fiberglass parts mounted to metal parts that faded, and it just all of a sudden what was so cool just went away. Other things came in. Now time for a little Steve MZ, and we're going to get on the one thing you're tired of hearing about, but I'm going to do it in a fun, negative way. And I'm going to get into that next. This is brought to you by the fine folks at Rapstar USA.
Oh, yeah.
Rapstar USA wraps whatever you've got. Matter of fact, if you own a Fiero, I suggest you wrap it. Because guess what? It wouldn't fade.
Yeah, that's right.
That's where a wrap is better than paint. It's cheaper than paint. People can't tell that it's a wrap. It looks like paint. And I think Jeff put up that is 100% wrapped. But I'm up close to it. And we took that to Echo Park Speedway a little over a year ago. You can't tell it's not paint. And I've got 2 friends that have wrapped their boats on Lanier, and they went with bright colors or design. You could even put your business on the side or the name of your boat. There's so much you can do with a wrap, and nobody does it better than Danny Hamilton and Danny Jr.'s crew at Star Coaches right off the interstate, right there at South Cobb Drive. It's rapstarusa.com. Did I get that right?
Yep. Rapstarusa.com. CMC.
The wedding of the year. Oh, Lord.
It's casually, as much as everyone hates it, it's really the wedding of the century.
I know. And it's because of maybe money spent and where they held it, and it's just crazy. But we're talking about Taylor Swift. We're talking about her lovely husband. Now, I guess, does she take Kelsey as her name?
No. They
She
can't
can't?
change their names.
You
No, they're
don't
going to be
think?
done. They shouldn't even file anything because it's not going to last very long.
This wedding, we don't think is going to happen or last. Yeah. So, and maybe not. People went. We saw that they did it in a giant auditorium. I mean, it's right there in New York. They blocked off streets. They go inside. They've got these huge tents where cars can pull in that are blacked out. People can get out. Therefore, they weren't seen. But then there was, I'll call it a bitch line, where because it's like
the C-listers, the D-listers.
C-listers and the D-listers, or even the B-. I mean, they had an area where they had to walk in the public and park in a different area. And they were seen coming in, so they're having to do the wave. The actors, the singers, whoever they invited had to do the wave because they were not good enough to be undercover. Isn't that funny? And I'm like, how do you feel if you're invited and you're like, okay, yeah, I guess I haven't had a hit movie in about 15 years. So the celebration kept guests waiting for a long time when it came time to eat.
You mentioned there was a buffet.
Yeah.
They didn't have like plated service.
Do you know how much that arena costs to rent? You're like, when you're renting arenas, you're like, y'all are all getting chicken nuggets. No, there was no formal sit down dinner.
Okay.
There wasn't. Instead, guests lined up at multiple buffet style food stations. So I guess it's a lot like an all inclusive.
Yeah. Why didn't they take a cruise?
They should have taken that's what you do. Is it cheaper to rent a boat, come back in 3 days?
Probably, yeah. Than Madison Square Garden.
And you know what? If you want a good deal on a boat and you've got the money to rent one, call Carnival. They're tired of all the fights. They'll be like, yeah, we'll give you a boat. You people are going to be classy? Yeah, let's do it. And I'm getting a lot of this from TMZ right here on Steve MZ. It was a bit of I can say it, a shit show is what they're saying. I would
the wedding, the whole procedure, the whole reception.
Yeah. They said too many people, not enough places for everyone to sit. So if you were looking to sit down, that wasn't happening. Again, we have not seen too many pictures inside, so we don't know. But when you think arena and they invited 900 to 1,000 people, you're like, everybody's going to have a place to sit.
Yeah, even they have to sit in the nosebleed section.
Congratulations, Taylor. We love you. It's Dana Carvey. I mean, I don't know who's a C-lister and who's not. But they say nobody went hungry. That's the good news. Everybody got food that wanted food, and they had their pick of an intense spread. So the stations were serving everything from Chinese, Italian to American favorites.
Oh, it was like an international buffet.
Oh yeah, and
there's a bunch of those on the way to East Side Station in Snellville on 78.
Really?
It took me a while to figure out the acronym AYICE.
That means all those foods. All you
can eat. They didn't say buffet. It's all you can eat, but it's an acronym. AYUCI or UCE.
I'll look for that.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
and they're not places I really would want to go.
No, they said the stations also had pasta and sushi, to chicken salads and filet mignon.
Okay.
I mean, this is pretty good. Now, let's get to the desserts that Taylor had and Travis Kelce. Over-the-top desserts is what I'm hearing. Over the top. There was a massive dessert table featuring around 30 different cakes to choose from. Maybe not the wedding cake, but lots of cake. And you're like, okay. And then there were all kinds of other little desserts if cake wasn't your mojo. And then they exchanged handwritten vows. So in other words, priest, preacher, just take a seat. We got this. Taylor even sang a part of hers. I mean, she's a singer. You know, I don't know. Leaving Travis overwhelmed with emotion. So you got Travis up there crying while Adam Sandler, who was the preacher and the server.
He was the officiator?
And he delivered a heartfelt service with plenty of laughs and an original song by Mrs. and Mr. Swift is what they're calling them. So maybe he's taking her name. Oh, my goodness.
Hey, it's Southside Steve, and I am at Small Sliders in Marietta, off Windy Hill, just before Cobb Parkway. And I got 2 orange boxes, and this is perfect. If you're a coach or you've got a big birthday party or you've got a team that you've got to provide snacks for, or any event, could even be a corporate event, check this out. You get fries. Look at that, a whole box. And plenty of things to dip them in. And then the next one, this is the fun. Look at the different burgers. I've got barbecue, 2 plain with just cheese, and then 2 with everything, including bacon. Something for everybody at Sliders, something for the big group at Small Sliders in Marietta. Yeah, come on.
Polydictainment.
Kind of a fun one. Because I didn't watch anything. Did you watch anything on the actual 4th of July? You were out at the pool and then went to see fireworks. You
Yeah.
didn't watch CNN or the Freedom 250 show.
No, I didn't see anything Fox or CNN was doing or any of the shows. I saw a little bit in the morning when they kicked off the boats, the ships.
Oh, in the New York Harbor?
Yeah, in the harbor, and they're all going down there. And then the one ship is one that all sailors train on, or all Coast Guard sailors train on. So there was some interesting things, but then I got away from it.
Well, on the one in Washington, the Freedom 250, it rained, so all the music stuff got canceled. Skinner was going to play. Gretchen Wilson, a lot of people dropped out, but they were the Patriots.
So Brett Michaels was like, aha, my equipment did not get wet.
Yeah, so they ended up canceling that and just had, Trump spoke, and then they had the fireworks and the Air Force show, the Air Force band actually, but no concerts. And I didn't realize this until I saw it. You know who was going to be a surprise performer?
No, you got me on this
Someone
one.
very close to both of us, particularly me, but close to you too.
Oh, now hold on. You got to give me a second. Oh, you mean like we know personally?
No.
No, but somebody close, somebody who's
Somebody
worked,
that we both like
and
a lot.
it's music.
That yes, very close to me, and one of your
then
top
it's got to
five.
be Sammy Hagar.
That's right. Sammy Hagar was going to play. He was going to be a surprise musical guest
Oh.
during the Freedom 250 event.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and he got a little flack like a lot of artists did. What are you doing? It's supporting a Trump thing. It's not about
Sam.
Trump, and of course
it's
he
about
said,
America, people.
Yeah, of course he said, this is not about the president. It's about the country turning 250. This is
The greatest country in the world.
yeah, cool your jets. But what was really cool, he put on social media, he was going to make a little speech before playing Right Now. The Van Halen
Like
song.
where we are right now.
Well, he had a little, how the song Right Now, blah, blah, blah.
Right now, somebody's getting their sign ready to go and protest. Why?
Correct.
Right now, somebody is deciding on what road we can block. Right now, people are buying more black clothing to be in disguise with Antifa.
Right. So you're referring to the video when they had all those lines about Right Now, which is a great video. It won Video of the Year that year.
It was a great video. You're right, and it was covering all the current events of the time.
Yeah. So what he was going to say, and he put this on. He put his handwritten speech on his social media. But this is what he was going to say before going into Right Now. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Right now, we are celebrating our country's.
All right, hold on one second. You just threw me. I thought I was going to be hearing Sammy. It's you talking
It's
for
going to
Sammy?
be me. Yeah. He didn't say it. He just posted his handwritten. So yeah, to me, it's Sammy.
All right, right now it is Jeff Cole as Sammy Hagar, speaking Sammy's handwritten words.
Right now, we are celebrating our country's 250th birthday. And right now would be a good time to reunite this country. Come together right now. Stop the violence. Stop the hate. Right now is a good time to show some love and respect to our fellow brothers and sisters.
Wow.
Let's not be prejudiced. Let's all come together right now. Remember, united we stand, divided we fall. All we need is love right here, right now. Happy birthday, America.
I think that would have been well received. I think he's definitely a little bit of a Beatles fan. Or is it hard not?
Oh, yeah.
Did the Beatles just coin all those phrases?
Well, definitely the all we need is love.
Yeah.
All you need is love.
But, who knows that maybe the Beatles are what inspired him to be a musician. A lot of people are inspired. And there's a lot of guys, the long hair, don't let the long hair fool you. Mine's more Native American, and I just like long hair for whatever reason. But there are guys that wear it because they think they look cool or they want to be rockers. But there are a lot of hippies out there in the rock and roll world that go with that love feel. And they got in it just to damn be happy and write happy songs. And they hate it when people are angry.
Yeah.
And it looks like Sammy's got a little bit of that.
Yeah, so I was excited to see that he was going to be. I mean, I would have missed it, but that's cool that he was participating or was going to participate.
I'm glad too. I think that's cool. I think it was an opportunity that if anybody did it, history will look upon you or the world will look upon you as you just love your country.
Hey, this is Southside Steve at North Atlanta Golf Carts right here in Brazelton and Dawsonville, whichever one's closer to you. And I'm sitting in a Donago right now. This is a family 6-seater, sound, everything, all the bells and whistles. $12,999, and you start it with a key. No, a card. Yeah, come on. I forgot to tell you, it's got a rear backup camera. Awesome. Donago, North Atlanta Golf Carts.
Yeah, come on! Well, we start the sports on a sad note, or is it a good note? I know the glass always half full, but the United States of America is out of the 2026 World Cup,
Oh, so close. We
So
got
close.
to the Sweet 16,
which is great.
but not the Hateful Eight.
No.
Or what's the 8 called?
I like Hateful Eight. It was a great movie if you've ever seen it. Hateful Eight is not a movie you watch more than twice.
Is that the one? I get it mixed up with Django Unchained.
No,
I don't think I've seen the Hateful. That's with
You
Kurt
need to see
Russell.
it. Yes.
Kurt Russell, right? Okay.
You've got to see it because it's basically a blizzard, and he's out there, and all these people come together, and it's basically they're all picking each other off in this cabin, and they're stuck in a cabin, and they're
Yeah.
all wondering where the people are that run the cabin, but they were already killed by the killer that was in the basement that's there to free the sister that Kurt Russell is trying to take to be hanged. It's a great one.
Okay, I think that's the only Quentin movie I haven't seen.
It's worth seeing, but it's not one that you're going to see twice. Will we see the U.S. in this situation twice? I think so. The U.S., if you watch the entire game, and I did, the big question mark was our striker that had been given a red card going to be playing. President Trump made a call. He didn't say make it happen.
Well, publicly, I still think there was something going on.
I
He
don't
made
know.
some kind of, hey, you better get this done.
Well, what people are forgetting is that Cristiano Ronaldo also had a red card. People were saying this hasn't been done since the 60s. It was done before the World Cup started. FIFA did exactly for Portugal exactly what they did for the U.S. They went in and said, Cristiano Ronaldo had a bad last game. He is out, suspended, and red carded for 2 games. He had a 3-game suspension. And they said, all right, we can't. He's a draw. America wants to see him in person. FIFA said, no, we've looked at it. You know, we're going to fine you. We're going to do this, but you will be able to play. You've missed 1 game. You're not going to miss the other 2 in the World Cup. So they did it.
Mm-hmm.
FIFA did that. FIFA did it with America.
Okay.
And I will tell you right now, taking 10 steps back, it wasn't flagrant. It was called from the sidelines. It was a slow-mo picture stepping on his ankle, which looked horrific. He's spoken. The other player's spoken. It was just an accident. It was a yellow card at best. Because I guess, you know, when you're on the field, you do have to have presence of mind of other people. But he was watching the ball, and that's it. So I do think it should have been overturned, but it looks like President Trump fixed it, which is all this country needs.
But it didn't help.
No, and it didn't help. This individual brought nothing to the table other than some good passing. He had 1 great shot on goal where he had a breakaway. Horrible angle. There was almost no way to score it. He was coming in at the corner. The keeper blocked it. The keeper played a great game. Our keeper let in 4 goals, Jeff. We lost 4-1.
Oh, that's like one of the highest scoring games I've heard of.
It was pretty bad. And the last goal was scored literally with minutes left in the game. We had the crowd booed because we were down 3-1 when the time goes up, and they only gave us 4 minutes of extra playing time through the injuries in the game. A lot of people thought it could have been as much as 7-10, which would have given the U.S. a chance to get 2 goals.
Well,
a lot of times you get the 1, the momentum carries you to the second, which is the way they scored. One individual scored 2 goals in the game. This young kid, I've never even heard of him. He was right place, right time twice. Got balls just centered over. Defense was down. The U.S. Played their worst game in probably a year and a half against a team that was better than them. They had to play one of their best games to win, and it didn't happen. The other thing is Cristiano Ronaldo is gone forever. That was his final match, and that is one of my favorite players ever in soccer, and it was sad. And the good news is Atlanta, you've got time to get down to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Maybe you buy a hot ticket. Maybe there's tickets for sale. I don't know, but at least you get soaked up in what is the World Cup. It is the final 16, and guess what? Argentina is in our backyard right now. Messi flew in. A lot of people just want a chance to see him. Argentina takes on Egypt today in Atlanta at noon, and then Switzerland plays Colombia at 4 p.m. And those are your games for the day, and that will decide who gets into, Jeff is now termed, the hateful, maybe hateful
The
or
eightful.
hateful.
I don't like hate.
Let's
Isn't
go
that-
with
so-
hateful,
Hateful.
the hateful 8. All right, right now it's a little time for track 13, and I've been going down a Cars hole. I'm going to let you intervene if you want.
Well, I think we should do a Sammy Hagar since we mentioned him in the
That'd be better.
Politic team. Let's do it.
But I walked in listening to the Cars, and you're giving me hell because I'm Cars centric right now because the bands they weren't good at festivals, and we're going to get to Sammy, but I just think when you get on stage for like Africa, Feed Africa, or Feed Old People, or
Live Aid.
Live Aid, Farm Aid, all that crap, it's almost like you gotta have some punch. And they were more of a hip, cool, like you're riding in the car, you know, little electronic. And then you got Rick Ocasek, not good on the eyes. But then you got the one blonde guy that's cool as hell, but he dies early.
Benjamin Orr.
So yeah, I'm
Well, we could do a Cars one.
I just want the Doc of Rock to tell me what went wrong or the band's success, because in MTV they had the top video the first year. There was something there. It just never clicked, never happened. If anybody happened outside of Journey, which I love Journey with Steve Perry, I think that was a moment. I will tell you the Van Halen run. I will give you this. That with David Lee Roth, it was so cool at the time. You didn't mind a guy that couldn't sing that well. Does he look cool as hell? He did all the acrobatics. You had the best guitarist in the world. Cool, nice bass player. His brother's on the drums. It fit. It worked. And it was their damn last name.
Yeah, well, the Cars at the same time ruled MTV. Heartbeat City was one of the biggest records of the 80s.
Yeah.
Produced by Mutt Lange.
Mutt Lange.
And they made videos for like 4 or 5 songs that were all hits.
Yeah.
So you might think Magic, Drive.
Their Drive's a big
The
one.
one with, it was sung by Benjamin Orr.
I like that. So yeah, they were there with Van Halen,
Yeah.
but Van Halen was just a production, man. They just looked cool as hell in concert. The videos, they were so cool in concert. The videos were of them in concert.
Well, yeah, they did. Well, they did a video of the early videos.
Jump for sure.
Well, the early videos was concert footage. But thinking of Sammy Hagar, we'll go ahead and do him because we were talking about him potentially playing the Freedom 250. What's the perfect song?
Yeah.
For that.
All right, while we're thinking for the perfect song, I just want to give Sammy Hagar. What's Sammy Hagar? Because I love your music knowledge, and we got a minute. We're going over. I apologize. But with Sammy Hagar, was he not the best replacement ever for a lead singer for a band?
Yeah.
In the history of music,
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
for somebody outside of Brian Johnson.
Yeah, that's one of the only times
With
it worked.
AC/DC?
That's what AC/DC and Van Halen are the only times it really worked.
It really worked.
You could argue Phil Collins in Genesis, but he was already in Genesis.
Yes.
He wasn't. He just brought it to the front.
That's a good third. I love it. And if you like this kind of stuff, tune into the shows. And obviously, Jeff makes it an attachment. You got to go down and hit the song. We can't hit it, because then we would lose any money we're making. Lastly, you asked the question, which song works?
For the freedom for Sammy.
Well, it's got to be right now.
No, that's what
That's
he
the song
quoted.
he quoted.
But I think they did a video for Dreams.
Dreams.
And it was the Blue Angels
Yes.
flying all over, so it's very patriotic.
Oh, I got chills.
Okay, so we will do that.
And the
for,
Blue Angels kicked it off, by
Yeah.
the way, going down the coastline and coming in with the red, white, and blue
Yeah,
across
that was
New
the Blue
York.
Angels?
That was the
Yeah,
Blue Angels.
I did see that.
And then you know what was really cool? Once they had done it, the way it floated in
Yeah.
the sky looked way cool.
All right, so we'll do that then, since Sammy was going to play, and he did, co-write Dreams. And that was, I think, the only video from 5150, and they're not even in it. It's just the Blue
I
Angels.
wouldn't know that, but yeah, I don't
I
remember.
think that's the only video they made, and it wasn't even them.
Okay.
It was the Blue Angels. So you can watch the video, listen to the song description, link in the description.
It's okay.
Every
You know
time.
what? Maybe you need help. I'll get on the phone to David Markwell. Markwell Therapy.
Yes.
It looks like you're going through a lot, Jeff, and we're going to help you.
You
This
help me.
show is going to help you. I didn't ask you to be the perfect human being. I asked you to be Jeff.
Yeah, and I am the Doc
With a
of
G-
Rock,
with
and
a G.
with a G, and the Doc of Rock. It's Van Halen Dreams, track 13 on the Come On Show.